favorite scary movie?
Like, oh my god, what's your favorite scary movie? Mine Scream. Ah!
Hello there, what's your... Oh, fuck. Alrighty, so I think you guys get the general idea. We are doing another giveaway because we hit 200 subscribers, as I promised. So, we are giving away, of course, two things this time. With the normal looking ghost face, with the knife, with bendable fingers apparently. Got some wiring in there. So, you guys, can win this guy, or you can win the fabulously zesty ghost face over here with leg stockings and everything. Apparently made by U2s. So yes, we will be giving these away. Each one of these are their own individual prices. All you have to do to enter this giveaway is subscribe and comment down below what's your favorite scary movie. Obviously, kind of going with the theme of this. But yeah, let's get into the rest of the fucking video since again, you already know what to do for these. Also, I don't know if we'll be doing 3 giveaways for 300. I mostly just got this idea just because I thought having one and the other would be cool. I'm not sure if everyone would want the pink zesty one. So I thought a normal ghost face in here would be cool too. But for 300 we'll probably just do something a little bit cooler. I feel like with every 100 subscribers we gain, we're just trying to do a bigger and better giveaway. So yeah, let's get into the rest of this video though. Sometimes there's just weird things you get in your collection. There's just weird things. As an example, this Ninja Turtle Undertaker figure. Who the fuck ever thought Ninja Turtles and WWE would do a collab? But apparently it happened. So, in the spirit of that, we are going to be looking at the top 10 strangest things in my own collection. Because there's too many strange things outside of my own collection to even go over in a list and to bring it down to 10 things. So I'm going to keep it down to my very own collection. But before we get into the top 10, of course, we're going to get into the honorable mentions. So let's do that. At number 10, folks, here we have a promotional dog tag for the movie Man's Best Friend. If you don't know what Man's Best Friend is, it is a horror sci-fi movie released in 1993. And essentially, the plot of the movie is the scientist has genetically modified a dog, which the dog is a Tibetan Mastiff, even though for some reason on some of the movie covers it's a Rottweiler. But yeah, the movie itself is quite fun. I enjoy it a whole lot. If you can watch it, I'd honestly recommend it. But getting back into the dog tag itself, this was, I'd assume, made to promote the movie. I'd assume they gave these away. Obviously, it just says Man's Best Friend, coming this fall to theaters everywhere. What is that? At the bottom, NLC. So, quite a strange little thing. This is like some of the only merchandising of the movie that exists, though. It's this, I think a couple of posters, and that's about it. But the main reason I find this thing so strange is because I've only ever seen 2 listings of this. And I saw the first one, I bought it immediately, but the dude never shipped it out to me, and he told me he would actually ship it to me. He canceled the order because I was telling him like, hey, what the fuck, like, you haven't shipped it out. And he canceled the order and just went, yeah, I'm sorry about that, I'll ship it out to you for free anyways. Never did that, so fuck that guy. I did get my money back, lucky enough. But then I found it again on this website called Fun Stuff, and they had it, and it was like $10. So really rare thing, even though I can't say it's worth anything considering this movie isn't very popular. There was a Screen Factory release of the movie on a Blu-ray, so if you do want to enjoy the movie and you want to own it physically, that's the best way to go about it. But yeah, quite a strange little thing. The plush itself that I have on it is not actually a part of this at all. I just bought it and put the dog tag on it because this is a plush of a Tibetan Mastiff, so I thought it would fit quite well with it, especially it being up on a shelf. Instead of just seeing this little dog tag, you actually see, you know, the dog that at least somewhat resembles the dog that was in the movie with the promotional dog tag. But yeah, let's get into number 9, folks. At number 9, I should say, folks, we have a Wrestling Federation de Catch Sandman figure. The person who I bought it from obviously agreed and had it signed by him, which is what really made me buy it, if I'm being honest. But it does blatantly just look like Sandman. He also comes with a table. Chris Benoit's in the corner for some apparent reason with googly eyes. But the dude over here is definitely, they didn't look like they altered him in any way. And I'm not sure who that is supposed to be. Admittedly, the packaging is a little bit cool with the lightning that they have going all around it and stuff. Again, on the back, it continues on with the Chris Benoit image here, the fight stuff, a bunch of seemingly knockoff ECW figures. You have Rhino, Mike Awesome, Taz, and Sabu here. I would assume that's Raven as well, and that I pretty obviously that is Super Crazy. So again, just quite strange that some of the material they chose to put on this, it feels like they just put a bunch of images on this packaging and just decided to call it a day. Admittedly, I do like how they put the lightning throughout all of it. It does give it definitely a standout feel. But yeah, definitely quite a strange knockoff. And even crazier that someone actually had this signed by him. As I said, the person who I bought it from had it signed by him and actually included a photo of him signing it on the listing. Bought it off of eBay. Wasn't too expensive from what I remember. It might have been around like $50 or so, which isn't the cheapest, but isn't the craziest either when it comes to wrestling autographs. But yeah, quite a strange looking thing. Pretty cool though. But yeah, let's move on to number 8. Number 8, we have this Trap Toys inspired Tupac here, which is obviously a quite cool looking figure, but this definitely is quite a strange thing. I mean, I wonder if Tupac ever thought he'd get a He-Man figure, or he even watched the show, to be honest. I mean, he died in 1996, so He-Man was around in the 80s, so it's possible. But if you don't know who Trap Toys is essentially this dude who customizes toys online on his Instagram in particular, and he essentially makes toys into rap stars, much like with this Tupac. This was not actually quite created by him. This was off of someone off of eBay. Quite a cool looking figure though. I did do some simple modifications to this dude. The chain I actually bought off of someone. The dude sold them for like $30 each, which is quite expensive, but this chain is meant for a like 1/6 figure, and the quality is pretty good. I've never had it fade on me or anything like that. I did buy some decals from someone online, so I do have most of Tupac's tattoos on here. I also did paint up the cross in the back. Now, Tupac's cross in real life was actually more of just like an outline of the cross, but because it was molded in like this, I thought it would look better just to fill it in with the black. Obviously, you have the ballin' tattoo at the bottom that I had to somewhat separate because of the cross coming down so far. His tattoos continue across. And yeah, besides that, those are the only modifications I did to it. I did also paint that gun and obviously give it a little effect piece, which is just from a Origins figure. But yeah, quite a strange looking little dude, but definitely really cool. Definitely stands out on my shelf, especially in the He-Man collection. And yeah, pretty cool. Let's move on to number, I don't remember. We have this Tintan El Bella Dormido Mexico figure. And if you don't know who Tintan or El Bella Dormido is, I will explain a little bit. Tintan is actually a Mexican actor who was very famous in the 40s and 50s. And quite a achieved actor, I would say. He has a whole lot of funny movies if you are into older movies, especially if you speak Spanish. I know some of my viewers are Mexican because I can see that. So yeah, shout out to all my Mexican viewers for sure. But yeah, Tintan is a really famous actor who's absolutely hilarious. He's like one of the pioneers of comedy, in my opinion. But besides that, let's get into El Bella Dormida. Bella Dormida is essentially a movie about Tintan, or I forget his movie actually in the name, or in the movie, I should say. But the character he plays, essentially, he is getting married to a girl, and he marries her. But there's another caveman who is extremely jealous of him because he really likes the girl, and he hires a witch doctor to put him to sleep for centuries, essentially. He wakes up in modern day, at least at that point, modern day Mexico, which would probably be the 40s or 50s, and they're trying to bring him back into regular civilization. I'm sorry for my pronunciation there, but they're trying to bring him back into, just modern day, and slowly and surely, get him to, become accustomed to normal things nowadays. And eventually he does, and he actually finds out his wife from back then is actually going to marry the dude who hired a witch doctor to put him to for sleep for centuries like that. So obviously he isn't too happy, and the whole thing is reincarnation is a whole big part of this movie as well. Eventually she remembers everything, so she does end up actually getting with him in the end. Sort of a spoiler, I guess, but this movie came out in like the 40s and 50s, man. Regardless of the spoiler or not, this movie is just absolutely hilarious. But yeah, quite a strange looking guy. I really do like it though. I like how they gave him the real hair. I really like the packaging, that's why I kept him in it. And they actually advertised a couple other movies. So this is the movie he is actually in. That's the real picture of the actor right there. Obviously, El Bella Dormida. I can't even pronounce some of these. I'm sorry for my Spanish, folks. I'm Mexican and all, but my Spanish isn't too good, admittedly. But on the top, it actually does say Tintan. But yeah, quite a strange looking thing. I've never seen one of these again. There was a couple other ones that I had seen of listings of this guy by the same person on eBay who were selling these. But yeah, definitely a strange little thing, but definitely something that I really like, for sure. Because I don't think I have too many other items that I can really draw back to Mexico. So yeah, strange looking, but really cool. Anyways, let's move on to number 6, I think. Here, folks, we have a Slim Shady bobblehead, which is based off the Slim Shady show. This thing is quite strange looking. I mean, he has red eyes, a red t-shirt, and brown pants, which he never wore in real life. This is apparently by NECA, which I didn't even realize up until making this video. Never realized NECA actually even made this. But this is based off the Slim Shady show. If you never heard of it, you wouldn't be the only one. The Slim Shady show is a basically cruder version of South Park, if I'm being quite honest. Matter of fact, sorry there, folks. Matter of fact, some of the South Park characters are actually in the show at a certain point, because in the show, I think they play dodgeball against them, which kind of ties into a South Park episode as well, which is kind of crazy now that I'm thinking about it. But in the episode, Marshall Mathers, because Slim Shady and Marshall Mathers for some reason are different people in the show. This is Slim Shady. There's also a Marshall Mathers bobblehead, which I do plan on getting eventually. But in that episode, Marshall Mathers, for some apparent reason, has a crush on Wendy from South Park, and Slim Shady actually helps him to hook up with her and essentially cut Stan from South Park, which I'm just like, what the fuck? It's really weird because when you think about it, it's like Eminem is a full-grown ass motherfucker, and like he's making a cartoon about him cucking what, like an 8-year-old, essentially. Like what the fuck? But yeah, quite a strange little item. The show's even stranger, as I said. If you do want to watch it, I think it's free on YouTube. You could also probably just find it somewhere online for free. I know that it was included with the 8 Mile movie, I think, in the special feature, so if you do have that as well, you can watch it from there. But yeah, quite a strange looking little item. Unfortunately, mine has a couple of chips. It has a chipped ear, and the neck has been broken, or the head, I should say, has been broken off from right here. That's because of someone else's doing, unfortunately. You know, sometimes you invite stupid people over, and they do stupid things. But yeah, I might end up replacing this guy with a better version. Up until then, though, I think this more than satisfies me as far as, you know, having this cool little bobblehead. But yeah, let's move on to number 5, I think. At number 5, we have this knockoff Rey Mysterio who's up on roids, apparently, and for some reason maskless. So I got this guy at a flea market a long time ago, probably when I was like in middle school, if I'm being honest, which is quite scary how long ago that is now I'm thinking about it. But this guy is obviously quite strange looking with how buffed out he is. Cool thing is he does actually have his tattoos. You can actually tell this figure was based off before his most recent run in WWE, because in his most recent run he's added even more to the tattoos on his chest and stuff. But yeah, it is really cool that they actually included the tattoos. As you can tell, a lot of them are fading off, unfortunately. The same thing goes for, especially the one on the back, you can really tell. And the same thing kind of goes for the shorts, unfortunately, or the pants, I should say. These are like an actual material, which is kind of cool, but it is slowly starting to fall apart. And I don't even like play with this guy or anything. This guy is strictly just up on a shelf. So it is quite unfortunate because this dude is really cool looking. The belt on him, he did not come with. I just put it on because I thought it was a really cool looking knockoff belt. Honestly, I think this belt looks better than some of the ones Mattel has actually put out, but that's just a hot take. But overall, this guy is obviously really strange. This buffed out Rey Mysterio. Honestly, he looks like he fucking ate Brock Lesnar, or he ate All Might's fucking hair, and all of a sudden, you know, starts to train. You know what I mean? But yeah, quite a strange looking guy. And he's actually quite tall as well. Like, I'm not sure if I can grab a... Oh, goddamn. So here's like a Roman Reigns right next to him. As you can see, he is fucking gigantic as well. So it really goes against everything Rey Mysterio is, because obviously Rey Mysterio wears a mask. He isn't like hugely buff. He's buff, admittedly. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying he's not in shape, but to the point where he is out buffing Brock Lesnar, I don't think I've ever seen that before. But yeah, quite a strange looking thing. Really glad I bought it. Definitely a standout piece on the shelf. But yeah, let's move on. Number 4 here, folks, we have a Muscle Mutt, and this is a custom one. And I try to refrain from keeping customs off this list, but this one, I kind of have a reason for putting it on there on this list, and I'll explain my reasoning right now. Muscle Mutts in themselves are rather strange because they are essentially a tie-in line with the Street Sharks, but for some reason they were never really produced all that many. The line was pretty much canceled from what I know. There was a tie-in cartoon that was supposed to happen that never came out, and there's all kinds of other strange things that you can look into as far as these figures and stuff. There are even rarer like cat figures that were supposed to be like the bad guys in the line that I have never seen, at least in person. But the main reason I find this figure so strange is because I understand it's a custom, but I don't understand how the hell they made it. I would assume they somehow got a hold of like one of the figures and just made a resin from it and made it with glow-in-the-dark material, because this figure does glow in the dark, which is really, really cool, and it's definitely a standout piece on my collection. Quite a strange thing that these even exist in the first place. I'm not sure how they even made them. I'm not complaining though. I mean, these things are really awesome. I've never seen any other one besides the 2 that I own as well, so they might be one of one pieces. But yeah, really cool. Really strange. I will include images of them right now as far as them glowing in the dark, just so you know, you guys know I'm not lying. I mean, I don't really try to lie on my videos anyway, so yeah. But yeah, let's move on to number 3. Number 3 here, folks, we have a Monster Flex Boogeyman Series 2 figure. Or stretch figure. I don't fucking know. If you don't know what the fuck this was essentially a toy at the 99-cent store. This is actually the second one I've owned because originally I had one, but then it got ripped on me as I moved, so I ordered another one online, unfortunately. But yeah, this guy is obviously a knockoff Ghostface, and it is called the Boogeyman, as you can see right here. There's 14 different models, so there is a gargoyle, and for some reason a monster that looks like shit, but it is a mud monster apparently, a swamp creature, or swamp monster is what it's called. Obviously supposed to be like a creature from the back lagoon, a blue and red ninja, which are supposed to be like Scorpion and Sub-Zero obviously, and apparently some glow-in-the-dark versions, which I've never seen before personally, but those are pretty cool. Personally, I just thought this was pretty cool for pretty much a knockoff Ghostface figure, and it actually does look like a certain Ghostface killer from a particular movie that isn't supposed to be Ghostface, but I'll get into that with the number 1 of why for the most part, I really like this thing as far as what it looks like. But yeah, quite a strange looking little dude, but definitely something I think is cool. And yeah, let's move on to number 2. At number 3, we have this Jason bat. I'm trying to get this detail on, but as you can see on his left, he has an eye, and the right, it looks like it's missing. And yeah, this is really cool. It looks like, you know, it's based off part 3 with the gash in the head. And moving down, it looks like he's got some bullet holes. He has a handle, obviously, towards the bottom, supposed to be kind of like a bat. His arms off to his, you know, his right and his left. Really good detailing in this guy. I got it at a flea market for $40 if you watched that YouTube short a while back, but I thought I should give a more close-up look on it in this video in particular. And this was all completely wood carved. I could not believe this dude sold it to me for $40. You would think like 140 or something crazy price like that, because I can tell this just takes a lot of work. And it's one of the cooler things about collecting is, especially when you collect these like custom unique pieces, it's just you can see the dedication and hard work into just simple things like this. Well, I don't know about simple, but just into things like this, you know, these really uniquely things, and you can tell how much work, like you can tell like right there he like really shaved into it, maybe shaved a little too much, but all those tiny imperfections are kind of cool to me because you can tell someone really worked their ass off on this. You know, this isn't something he was just able to do in one afternoon, so it makes it even uniquely cooler to me. And again, this does look like it's based off the part 3. But yeah, definitely a strange thing in my collection. I really wish I had a better spot to hang it at or something. I'm hoping when I do move eventually I can put it with all my Jason figures and kind of just have it on the front like this on the bookshelf. So if someone does decide to break in, I could just knock their ass out with Jason. Number 1, we have Shriek. If you know what I did last Friday the 13th, screener. If you don't know what a screener is essentially something that they send out to distributors or to critics who, you know, for distributors, obviously they send it out to see if they're interested in actually distributing these movies out on DVD. And for critics, it's obviously just for them to say, to put out critiques on the movie, whether it's good or they think it's dog shit, whatever. The movie itself is just quite strange as well. If you've never seen the movie, it is kind of along the same lines of, say, Scary Movie. Actually, quite similar to Scary Movie. So much to the point that some people actually believe this is a knockoff Scary Movie, even though in all reality, this movie was actually in production before Scary Movie, believe it or not. Shriek, if you know what I did last Friday the 13th, is just a really funny movie. If you can watch it, watch it. And having a screener of it is really cool, but also quite strange. The main reason I was talking about that stretch figure earlier, and the main reason I said I would explain why I love that figure so much, is actually because in this movie, in the beginning, the killer is actually wearing sort of a hockey mask style, and his mask actually melts down up until it melts down into a Ghostface-like mask, but it looks a bit more like that figure. And even the mask that I was wearing in the intro of this video where I was talking about our giveaway that we're doing, that mask is actually just a knockoff, but it sort of looks like that mask is the main reason I bought it. I was thinking about wearing that for Halloween last year, but I thought it'd be a little, I don't know how I would say it. I don't think too many people would have got the reference, so I just decided not to. But ultimately, this thing is really strange and really cool. The movie itself is really cool. I actually do have a poster of it, which I'll include in here right now. Strange thing about that poster as well, obviously Coolio's on it. Coolio plays like a prince-like character in the film for some apparent reason. I think he's literally called like, what is it? The administrator formerly known as principal, which is quite funny because that's a reference to Prince being referred to as the artist formerly known as Prince. So, quite a funny thing. Anyways, though, one of the weird things about that poster is it actually came from the UK. Because for some apparent reason, I could not find an original copy here in the US. So I ordered it all the way from the UK. Definitely worth it, but just still quite strange. The whole fucking movie and everything that went around it is really, really fucking weird, especially since there is like no official mask either. And all the ones that you do find of official mask are like pretty much garbage now, which is quite unfortunate. But yeah, let's wrap this thing up and let me get y'all the fuck out of here. Quickly, y'all, I just wanted to say thank you for watching, especially if you made it all the way through. Really appreciate it, of course. And of course, you always try to end on some type of message here, folks. And of course, for today's message, it's definitely inspired by Articulated Ninja. If you don't know who that is, he's another YouTuber, really good YouTuber at that. Probably one of my top 3 favorite YouTubers, if I'm being quite honest. But he has a series that's called Keeping It Real, and that whole series is basically talking about mental health and, you know, allowing people to vent struggles that they're going through in the comments, whether it is mental health related or just things in life that they are going through, of course. But in his most recent episode, he talked about how we are running out of time, and that, and obviously he means as if as we are humans, we will pass eventually, much like any other living creature. And you know, I felt like that was a very powerful message, especially since, you know, a lot of us, I feel like, be wasting our time with just dumb shit. I don't mean like dumb shit of like far as going out having fun, but I mean just like arguing about the dumbest shit we can be. You know, he talked about a little bit of it in his video, how, you know, some people be doing just some dumb shit, and like, you know, people not being willing to tell them that there's just doing some dumb shit as well. But I mean, yeah, man, just always trying to appreciate the people you have around you. You know, you never know when your last conversation with someone is going to be. You know, tomorrow, you never know what happens. You know, it could be a car accident tomorrow and you could pass, or the person you love could pass. Your parents could, you know, regardless. Just always try and make sure you take care of your people, and, you know, you make sure that your people are, you know, feel loved, you know, because that's the most powerful thing you could always do. Anyways, though, let's get the fuck up out of here. Forgot to mention for the giveaway, please do mention which Ghostface you do want, whether it's the pink zesty one or just a traditional black robe one. Also, as far as shipping goes, I'll ship it out to a different country as long as the shipping isn't over like $50. Last time I shipped something out to the UK, it was like $40. I know shipping things to Mexico is going to be quite a hassle as of now because of some of the tariffs that are going on, unfortunately. But I will ship out to Mexico if a Mexican viewer does happen to win. So, yeah. So all my international viewers, yes, you still can win in this giveaway. But again, just mention which one you want. So, yeah. Sorry about that. In other news, though, next week I should be putting out 2 videos. One of them should be supremely entertaining. One will be coming out Wednesday, and one will be coming out on the weekend. Whether it's Saturday or Sunday, I'm unsure of yet. But for sure, expect one by Wednesday. Matter of fact, I'm probably going to record that video a little later after I upload this. So, should be all ready by Wednesday to be uploaded and everything. But, yeah. Once again, make sure you tell the people that you love them, and hopefully I see y'all next time. catch it.